6:15 in Douala. Thanks and welcome to the news. I'm Kijang Henry Atimbi. We flag off with our top stories. Trusted taxi driver in custody for abducting and raping his 18-year-old girl in Yaounde. President Paul Biya paints a gloomy picture of global happenings as he received New Year wishes from members of the diplomatic corps this afternoon, calling for a stronger multilateral cooperation to reign over egoism. And crafted from recycled materials and gaining admiration from all and sundry, a young eco-inventor is reshaping the sustainable environment with his savvy top stories.
Canal International.
And welcome to join me. Our platforms are open for consultation, and we begin from Yaounde, where a taxi driver is presently under custody for abducting and raping an 18-year-old girl. This victim had bestowed her confidence in the driver for her security.
She took him for a trusted driver who could be solicited at night for security reasons. Little did he know that he had hidden intentions, which he manifested on December 30th, 2024, taking the 18-year-old girl hostage, sexually abusing the victim, and demanding ransom from the parents. I had sleepless nights searching for my daughter. On the 2nd, the kidnapper started calling and demanding 600,000 francs. They equally threatened to kill her if I did not comply. Alerting the Fulan Gendarmerie elements on January 2nd, 2025, the forces of law and order launched immediate investigations, cracking down on the culprits a few hours later.
Les différents indices qu'il a mis à notre disposition nous ont permis de...
The elements at our disposal permitted us to track the culprits, arresting the taxi driver around the Ifolan Council on January 3rd. He took us to the cousin's house at Complex Biakmvan, where the victim was kept. That is how we arrested the next person.
Retrouver la gendarme dans le domicile de Monsieur King Abanda.
Presenting the presumed kidnappers and rapists to the media on Wednesday, January 8th, at the Yaounde 2nd Gendarmerie Company, the commander called on young girls to be more vigilant and disassociate themselves from people of doubtful character.
Well, thanks very much.
In the year 2020,
sorrowful feels hitches in that report, and after years of trade imbalance caused by production substandards, there is a renewed hope that the Cameroon trades would actually gain grounds. Ambo Gladys takes a review in this report.
Cameroon has long faced challenges in its trade sector, with key products like shrimp, palm oil, locally made beverages, and other products failing to meet international standards. These, coupled with the nation's reliance on imported staples like rice, fish, wheat, and crude oil, creating significant pressure on its trade balance. A new narrative is, however, emerging thanks to the efforts of the Agrifood Technical Center. It is an economic interest group born of a public-private partnership working to raise production and export standards for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises across the nation.
We work to see how to make evaluation and give the opportunity to our factories to work in terms of respect of standards and quality.
Talking to the press in Douala, January 9, 2024, the president of the steering committee of the center said the initiative has already started to bear fruits.
Today, we can say that we have many factories which are able to export what they produce locally. And we are here to be sure that what we import respects the standards, what we locally produce respects the standard, so that we will be able to protect the health of inhabitants.
Consumer rights groups have also commended the initiative.
What we expect from the CTA is to open us a new universe where we will have the possibility to test all foods that we get onto the market, the national market. Producers of services and food used to tell us that we do defamation, because when we come over with a complaint, they tell us that we don't have any evidence this complaint. From today, as from the coming of CTA, we think that this problem is solved.
The Agrifood Technical Center has as mission to evaluate and improve the quality of food products, refine technological processes, ensure adherence to good hygienic and manufacturing practices, and enforce agri-food standards and technical regulations.
And crafted from recycled materials and gaining admiration from all and sundry, a young eco-inventor is reshaping the sustainable environment with his savvy. Ruknui Nguyap's rechargeable fans are made in Douala. Sherifa Saleh visited that workshop.
It is in this small space at Ange Raphael in Douala that 39-year-old Cyprian Nguyap brings his masterpieces to life. From fans to other unique craftsworks, Cyprian uses recycled materials to create functional and environmentally friendly items.
I use recycled materials from old used machines. Like my electrical motors, they are from printers. Most of my fans also, they are produced in such a way that they can work in the commercial sector and in the domestic sector.
Driven by a desire to reduce dependency on electrical fans, Cyprian focuses on rechargeable and solar-powered alternatives, providing solutions for communities with limited access to electricity.
It is produced in a way that you can use it in an environment where there is no electricity totally. And in an environment where there is electricity, you can recharge your batteries, and then you can then reuse it after when there is no electricity. And if you are in an environment where you don't have electricity at all, then you can recharge it also with solar. So it is rechargeable both with electricity and solar.
However, this journey has not been without its challenges. Relying solely on his hands for manufacturing and facing a scarcity of raw materials, his process demands innovation and resilience.
I have difficulties in producing it in mass quantity because when I recycle them, sometimes it's difficult to get to the raw material.
Despite these hurdles, Cyprian's fans are celebrated for their quality, with prices ranging from 5,000 to 20,000 CFA, making them both accessible and practical. Users have praised the durability and ingenuity of his designs.
This fan we have been using for good 2 years now. So in Douala here, we use it when they cut the lights, then we can be surviving with it.
A native of Donga-Mantung division in the northwest region of Cameroon, Cyprian sees his work as an expression of divine talent.
It's made Cynthia Latte, who talks about the effects of transgenerational marriage in the country. Now, what is the perception from an African context in terms of age difference in marriage? Cynthia Latte.
Often characterized by significant age gap, with one partner typically much older than the other, transgenerational marriages are igniting discussions about motivations that range from emotional connection to shared interests and life experiences.
There is what we call love. If I'm in love with a woman who is over 10 years older than I am, age has no place in love. Life is a choice. She loves her 15 years old guy, and when you propose to someone of her age, it doesn't work.
Some tolerate this phenomenon, citing advantages such as maturity, but reject personal engagement.
I will say a marriage involving an age gap, like a man who is 5 years older than the woman, is considerable. But over that, I will depend on the woman because everyone has their perspective.
A 25-year-old can reflect and distinguish what is good or bad, and a 45-year-old man, for example, can also reflect. I think the relationship can work. For others, these transgenerational marriages are unfathomable as they find it unimaginable to live a communal life with someone older than themselves. These unions provide a fresh perspective on companionship. Amid evolving social norms, they highlight the power of love to transcend age barriers as it obtained years back.
This was encouraged. Older men used to marry girls barely out of adolescence. Now, mentalities have evolved.
It happened in our village where a young girl of 20 got married to a 50-year-old man. The wedding was celebrated in front of me, but I had no issue because growing up, we witnessed similar situations. Transgenerational marriages highlights the diversity of connections and invite.
And now Hyacinthia takes us back to the year 2024 as he focuses his lens on the major sporting activities, the drama, amongst others. Hyacinth.
Without a doubt, football was a sport that captured everyone's attention in Cameroon in 2024. Starting from the beginning of April, the appointment of a new staff to lead the indomitable Lions under the directives of the Belgian Marc Brice sparked a long and dramatic crisis between the Ministry of Sport and the Cameroon Football Federation, which claimed that its right had been confiscated by the supervisory authority. It was in a tense atmosphere that Marc Brice arrived in Cameroon on April 7. His arrival was high Cameroonian soil. However, the tension between the Ministry of Sport and the Cameroon Football Federation, which had almost lasted throughout the rest of the year, for the first time in at least 5 years, Cameroon did not need to calculate its chances to qualify for the next African Cup of Nations. The indomitable Lions secured their ticket well in advance, with 2 games remaining in the qualifying campaign, and finished top of their group for the 2025 tournament in Morocco. Locally, the spectacle continued in 2024 on the fields of the MTN Elite 1 and 2. For the first time in its history, Colombe Djidjailo in the Champions Trophy defeating Cameroon's champion, Victoria United, by 2-1. However, this positive momentum in Cameroonian football was marred at the end of the year by the surprise disqualification of the Intermediate Lions, who will not participate in the 2025 African Nation Championship. 2024 was also marked by Cameroon's participation in the 26th African Women's Handball Championship in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Despite a flawless performance in the group stage, the indomitable Lionesses faced a huge disappointment in the quarterfinals, losing 18 sets to 26 to the Lionesses of Senegal. Cameroonian boxing also suffered a disappointment in 2024 with the terrible knockout inflicted on Saudi Arabia. However, the MMA legend and double UFC champion championship title of the PFL since October 29 after his express knockout victory over Brazilian Renan Ferreira.
Thanks very much, Hyacinth. And now the mobile telephone network, the MTN, moves to its millions of customers.
The 237 MTN Boss campaign, launched just 3 weeks ago, has already delivered life-changing rewards to subscribers across Cameroon. On January 3, 2025, Limbe witnessed the handing over of a pickup truck, 2 tricycles, and a giant truck to fortunate winners in the Southwest region. These prizes are part of MTN's ongoing mission to improve lives and create opportunities for economic empowerment.
MTN, after COVID-19, when we saw how miserable people came out, some lost their job, some were quarantined for so long, they came out of that COVID-19 with a lot of misery, and then at MTN we're saying, what can we do for the Cameroon people? And then we said, okay, end of year campaign. After the cars in 2021, we said, after giving somebody a car, what do you do? We said, but if you have a car, you need to have where to stay. So we bought some pieces of land that we titled and then we gave to our subscribers. But funny enough, some of the people who won this land started 14 villas that we completely furnished and then we just gave to our subscribers. And I can remember in the Southwest, we still had somebody from Omaka who won a villa. You can imagine, you just get up one day and you become a house owner.
The current campaign aims to distribute 237 commercial vehicles nationwide, and the Southwest region alone has so far welcomed 5 pickup trucks and 10 tricycles among its winners. The initiative's innovative approach encourages subscribers to participate through 3 types of transactions: purchasing a bundle by dialing *237#, making payments via their MTN mobile money, Momo accounts, or performing money transfers or cash outs.
I'm very, very, very excited. I thank MTN very much for the great thing they have done to me.
The campaign will run until February. For further information, 237 MTN Boss campaign exemplifies how the company blends business success with community development, making a meaningful difference in the lives of its customers. Through this initiative, MTN continues to demonstrate why it remains a trusted leader in telecommunications in Cameroon.
And of course, that draws the curtain for this edition of the news, in which we got information that President Paul Biya actually painted a course for a stronger multilateral cooperation to reign above egoism. We will not be able to bring you that report for some technical reasons we've been encountering, but then you will have that in our subsequent edition of the newscast. I've been Kejang Henry Atebe. Thank you for being there with us. Good day.